Hey, what's going on everybody? Commander Crane here, and we are back with another Pioneer deck tech, and today we're going to be talking about Golgari Demon Stompy, a deck that I've been working on for quite some time, and I'm really excited to share it with you finally. As always, at the end of the video, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about this video? Is there a specific card or demon that you think should have been in this deck that is not, or do you have suggestions for upcoming videos? Just let me know in the comment section. Okay, so Golgari Demon Stompy. I did make a Golgari Demon list a while ago when Duskmourn came out. It was like Unholy Annex, and it played a bunch of like Delirium spells and stuff like that. It was a really fun deck to play. But it's got me thinking, are we able to make an actual like aggro demon deck? Because when you think of demons, you either think of like reanimating them or playing like Rakdos mid-range, you know, obviously, so a mid-range deck, maybe even control. You don't really think of aggro just because demons can be bigger flyers and such, and it really wouldn't work out in an aggro deck. But there's a new card that really inspired me to want to be able to build Golgari Demon Stompy, and that card is Rashasa. This card is super cool. I mean, it's a 5/5 trampler for 2. That's got to be good, right? Well, it does have Decayed, but it has a really nice active ability from the graveyard. You can exile this creature card from your graveyard with black, and X, and put a Decayed counter on each of up to X target creatures, which is pretty darn good, which obviously Decayed means it can't block, and then when it attacks, sacrifice it at the end of combat. So overall, I really do like this card. It's just a 5/5 trampler. I mean, that's just pretty darn good, right? But is there other demons for us to be able to make a really nice aggro deck? I don't know. You can be the one to decide that. But anyways, let's go and hop into the rest of the deck here. So creatures, we're playing 30 creatures in the deck. We do have a few non-demon creatures, though, that we're playing. We're playing Llanowar Elves and Elvish Mystic. So these are really the only green cards, at least in the main board. And you might be thinking, well, why don't you just play Mono Black? Well, the real reason I'm playing the Elves in this is just because a lot of our demons have some activated abilities that are really nice. We have a bunch of 4-drop demons that we'd love to play a turn early. We also, spoiler alert, have Unholy Annex, and I'm also forgetting this name of the other side that makes the demon, so we can help unlock that room. It just kind of makes sense to play the Elves in this deck because, hey, we don't have anything else really going on, at least for our 1-drop, so we might as well just go ahead and play the Elf package. But we're also playing 4 copies of Blade of the Oni, 4 copies of Rock-Cursed Rashasa, and 2 copies of Herald of Torment, a throwback from Born of the Gods. Blade of the Oni, obviously a lot of people have been seeing this card a lot because the Rakdos Demons list plays this on Arena. Then we obviously have the 4 Rock Curse. Herald of Torment, I decided to play this over Master of the Feasts just because I don't want our opponent drawing cards. That's simply the reason why. I also do like the bestow ability on this because in a pinch, like if we're in top deck mode or something like that, we can just go ahead and bestow this onto one of our other demons, give it +3/+3, which can be pretty sweet. But yeah, really big fan of the 2 copies of Herald of Torment in the deck. We're also playing 4 copies of Abyssal Harvester. This card is sneaky good for multiple reasons. I mean, you can obviously do like some pretty crazy things, like if we happen to like discard one or something like that, we can make a copy of it, which is not something we're really going to do. But a lot of the time, if we take out our opponent's creature and like it's a really good creature, then all of a sudden we can tap and make a copy of it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, definitely a big fan of Abyssal Harvester. We're also playing 4 copies of Spawn of Mayhem, a card that I've always really liked. I played this card in Standard. It was always really fun. Most of the time, we're going to play this with its Spectacle cost for only 3 mana, which feels pretty darn good. But even if we do pay it, we play it on 4, it's still pretty good. And then we're playing 4 copies of Archfiend of the Dross because guess what? It's a 6/6 flyer for 4, and it's going to end the game very quickly, especially before we lose all 4 of the oil counters on this card. Do watch out, though, for Heartless Act. Watch out for that. Some people are playing that card, and that's something that we can instantly lose to, which we don't want to happen. But anyways, the rest of the cards that we're playing in this deck, we're playing 8 non-creatures. We're playing 4 copies of Fatal Push because Fatal Push is a really good card, obviously. And then we're playing 4 copies of Unholy Annex / Ritual Chamber. That's really just our main card advantage engine. I mean, we want to play this on turn 2 ideally, start drawing some cards. We get a demon down on turn 3, maybe even a 4-drop demon, you know, like an Archfiend of the Draws, and then we can start gaining life and draining our opponent, and then we just start swinging in with our big demons, and we get the game over with very fast. That's what we're looking to do with this deck overall. So let's go and hop into the lands here. Land base is pretty simple. We're playing 22 lands. We're playing 4 copies of Blooming Marsh, 4 copies of Overgrown Tomb, and 4 copies of Llanowar Waste as our main dual lands. We are also playing 4 copies of Darkboar Pathway, plenty of dual lands in this deck. We're playing the 1 copy of Beseiju, the 1 Takenuma. Then we're also playing 1 Cavernous Souls. I'm just playing 1. I didn't want to play too many lands that tap for colorless because obviously we're playing the 2 copies of Mutavault there. So yeah, just the 1 copy of Cavernous Souls. 2 copies of Mutavault. The reason I like the Mutavault in this deck is just because of the fact that, I mean, simply put, it's a demon. Like, there's some situations where we're going to activate this and then move to our end step, and we're going to be able to drain our opponent, which feels pretty good. And then we're playing the 1 basic forest, and as our spicy basic land of the day, I really just like this art from Tarkir Dragonstorm. A lot of the regular basics are still really darn good. Like, they look nice. And yeah, no, that's why I'm playing the 1 basic forest. No other reason than that. Just the fact that the art looks pretty darn cool. So, okay. The next thing we got to talk about is the sideboard. So my sideboard is probably going to look different than yours. I always like to mention that. This is just based off of my local metagame as well as what I typically run into on Magic Arena. If you have a deck like this or want to build this and you want to change the sideboard, feel free to go ahead and change things up. It's definitely not going to be a problem. But we're playing 4 copies of Thoughtseize because Thoughtseize is one of the best black spells in the format. Why wouldn't we play it in the 75? We're also playing 3 copies of Pick Your Poison, going against a number of different decks in the metagame. 2 copies of Assassin's Trophy. Guess what? It cleanly answers everything, and that's why we're playing it. Having the flexibility of being able to hit anything is pretty good. We're also playing 2 copies of Grafdigger's Cage. Good against a number of different decks in the format. Most notably is it Phoenix. It does shut down those pesky birds for coming back. It's also good against the Collected Company decks just because they're not able to maximize the efficiency of their Collected Company. 2 Unlicensed Hearse, just because it's good at hating on the graveyard. It's just really good, and it also acts as a creature when we crew it. And then Damping Sphere, good against all these Spell Slinger decks in the format as well as the Nykthos decks. Obviously you got your Lotus Field combo. Just a really good card in general. So the next thing we have to talk about is the tips and strategy for this deck. I really just have 2, because I mean, it is an aggro deck. There's not a lot of crazy ins and outs with this deck, but there's 2 general things I need you to know if you're going to play this deck. And that is, number 1, prioritize Unholy Annex. If you can play this on turn 2, it's correct pretty much every single time. Play this on turn 2 and start getting out maximum value with this card, because the next turn, ideally, we're going to play a demon and then we're going to start draining our opponent, which feels really good. And then the Ritual Chamber obviously is fantastic. I mean, it'd be a really weird hand if you play the Ritual Chamber first, but don't feel afraid to. I mean, make a 6/6 demon for 5. Why not? That's a really, really good rate. And then the other thing I have to mention, which not a lot of people realize this, is Rot Cursed Rashasa can't block. And with Decayed, a lot of people think like, oh, you just sacrifice it in a combat. No, it can't block. So don't try to block with this. I know like there's historically, over the years, people play these creatures that can't block and then they're like, oh, wait, this creature can't block? I never read this. So yeah, just make sure you're not blocking with this thing in paper. It'd be really embarrassing if you do, and then like it alters the game and your opponent's like, wait, that can't even block. So yeah, be careful with that. This creature cannot block. That's really all I've got in terms of the tips and tricks for this deck. Because again, we play our creatures and we turn them sideways. Okay, the last thing I got to talk about here is the budget options for this deck, which really, the only real budget adjustment you can make for this deck is swapping the Rot Cursed Rashasa, as well as trimming the Thoughtseize. So, I guess the best budget substitute for Rot Cursed Rashasa is the other one. It's the, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the name of it. It's the Rashasa Rock Caller. It's like green black for a 2/2 demon, and like it has like the pump ability, and it also has the regenerate. I would say that's probably your easiest swap, but it is a 5/5 trampler, so pick up the copies if you're looking to play this deck. We can also go ahead and swap a bunch of our dual lands out for some of the budget ones, but for the most part, that's really the only thing we can do. Most of this deck is very, very cheap, which is really nice in our favor. The current list, as it's constructed right now, is $268 US, which I would say is pretty average for a Pioneer deck. Like, that's really not bad. That's also including the Beseju and the Cavern Souls and some of the pricier cards that we are playing. But I was able to get the budget list down to $62 US. I want to say all I did was trim some of the dual lands. I swapped out the Rot Cursed Rashasa, and then I switched out Thoughtseize for Duress, and that's it. Other than that, I just made some of the big adjustments, and that's it. And you still get the entire rest of the deck. You can still play your dual lands untapped pretty much all the time. And yeah, you're going to have a really, really sweet Golgari demon list. Overall, really fun to make this deck. I've been wanting to make another demon deck here on the channel for a while, and it's fun to be able to feature an aggro deck and not just like mid-ranger, control, or reanimator like every single demon deck historically has ever been. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below if you do end up building this deck or if you have something similar. I'd love to hear about it in the comment section. And well, that takes us to the end of the video here. Thanks so much for watching. The deck lists are in the description below if you'd like to check them out for yourself. Huge shout out to our channel members, Ralph, Matt, Arcadius, Ray, Gary, Sterwanoki, Michael D, our premium channel member, The Common Cold, and Jeremy P. If you are interested in being a channel member, it starts at $1 US a month, and you gain access to the exclusive Commander Crane Discord, as well as other features here on the channel. So, I'm Commander Crane, thanks for watching this video, and hope to catch you in the next one.